everyone, welcome to my corner of the world. Today I have a fun fold card for you. It's called a double gatefold because it kind of opens like this. But it's a little bit unusual in as much as the gatefold bit is actually made using the decorative paper we call designer series paper. And the thing I particularly like about this design is that you get to see both sides of the decorative paper at the same time. Sometimes it's difficult to decide which one that you'd like to use. Also, I'm using the sweet strawberry stamp set, but I'm not using the strawberries. I'm going to be using the pretty flowers, and that's the flowers that I've got there. So just to sort of show you that even though it's a strawberry stamp set, you don't have to have strawberries on your card. So now the paper I've chosen to use is this. It's called Beautifully Penned, and all the choices in here are black and white, but there's flowers, there's wavy lines, there's stripes, and then things like polka dots. And so this is one of the goodies that you can get for free with a $50 order through Celebration, which runs through the 30th of September. And you'll find this one on page 7. Here it is. So let's get started and I can show you how we made the card. So I'm starting with a piece of the decorative paper, and this is 12 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to score at sort of 2-inch intervals from each side. So I'm scoring here at 2, and this is my score blade, the pale grey one. So I'm going to go at 2 and at 4. And then I'm going to turn it round and repeat. I could pull the arm out, but it goes off of camera range. So 2 and 4. So there are my score lines. I'm going to leave that to one side for a moment, and I'm going to put those score lines in. Now you can decide whichever is going to be your inside or your outside. Now, I think since I did this one to the outside, I think I'm going to make the, I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to make the polka dots my outside on this one. And so I'm putting in my folds, both sides, partly because it makes it easier for me to do the next bit. Right. There, so there's my fold. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away these pieces here. And so I'm going to get myself a pencil, and I'm going to make a mark, and it doesn't matter which side you do it as long as you do it the same side on both. And I'm going to cut down 2 inches. So I've got my piece of paper all lined up, and with my pencil I'm just gonna, let me move it down so you can see. This is my cutting groove. So I'm going to make a mark here, and I'm going to make a mark down at the bottom. I'm going to have to close this, otherwise it won't go. I'm going to make a mark down at the bottom on the 2-inch mark there. So there I've got my 2 marks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now cut from this score line at the 4-inch mark down to there. And so I'm going to cheat a little, and I'm going to put a little mark, pencil mark on there so as I can see it. So I'm lining up my pencil mark at the top over my little cutting groove. And sometimes you find that you do need to sort of adjust it top and bottom as you make each one, but then when it's in the right place, and this time I'm going to use the dark grey slide, that because that's got the cutting blade. I'm just going to cut that there, and we're going to keep that piece. And then this time I'm going to move it across and again lining it up. I'm going to cut this piece off as well. Okay. So then what will happen is I will be putting, let me see, make sure I got this the right way around. Okay, this is the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to be putting this piece, sticking this piece there, so that when it folds, it will go like this. And then the other piece is going to go the other side. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to use liquid glue. It's my preference, and I need to make sure that I've got this going the right way because I want the alternate. So a little bit of adhesive. Now this one is going to be slightly different from the other one because because I've cut a smaller slice. So, but I just want you to see that you can works all sorts of ways. Now I'm lining this cut edge up here with that score line at the 4-inch, and I'm just gonna gently ease and smoosh it so that this edge is all lined up. Then we're going to go the other way. And repeat the other side. It's a little bit awkward to just see that line on this dark paper. I didn't think of that before I chose to do it, so never mind. And again, I just need to move that so it lines up, and then these edges line up. And that's the beauty of using this liquid adhesive, because it gives you a little bit of working time. So when I now fold this up, I'm going to do it very gently. I'm going to make sure these lines, edges are all lined up, and these are too. And then I can get my bone folder in and put those folds in. So there we've got that pretty effect. You can see that this one again is slightly different, and it's just the way that you cut the paper. So now we're just going to build it up, and I'm going to be using polished pink. I think that has a really good contrast to the black and the white. And to be honest with you, I think it would go with any color. So if you were making a card for a friend who had a favorite color, you know, you could just use that for decorating up. So I'm just centering it in this piece. So this piece of cardstock is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So that gives me my nice solid back to it. And then I've got my inside pieces. So again, I've got the polished pink, and so this one is 5 by 3 3/4, and this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And these are the bits that are going to go inside that you're going to write your message on. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping here. So as I say, I'm using the Sweet Strawberry stamp set, and I'm using a leaf and this flower and also the greeting. So I'm going to start by just decorating the inside piece, and I'm just going to put like 3 little flowers in one corner, and I think I'm going to have that on my top. And then I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, because it's a lovely vibrant green, I'm just going to put a couple of leaves there. So that's my inside piece. And we're going to attach that to this piece. But before I do that, I'm going to cut myself a label out of this. Now, all of this is actually going to be, most of this is going to be covered. And I want to use a piece of this cardstock on my front piece. So rather than waste another piece of card, I'm just going to punch that clean out the middle, set that aside. Now, this is the Label Me Lovely punch. And then I'm just going to go ahead with my adhesive and stick that down onto this card. And I'm going to pick it up quick so that the adhesive doesn't get on that hole, see? But nobody's going to know because now I'm going to stick it on the inside of my card. So this is a good tip if you find that you're short of a particular card stock and that you want to make your card stock go a nice long way. So there we go, that's put in there like that. So there's most of our card done. All I'm going to do now is do a nice decorative piece on the front. So I've got this piece I cut out, and I am going now to take a piece of spare piece of card, and I'm going to stamp my greeting. Now the greeting that is in this stamp set says "Happy birthday, you sweet thing." Now I like the happy birthday, but on this occasion I don't want the "you sweet thing." So I'm going to show you a technique of how you can use that stamp and not use all of it. And it's a masking technique. So I've got a little bit of tape, Scotch tape. And what I'm going to do is I am going to place it over the text that I don't want, making sure that it doesn't interfere with any of the other text on the stamp. I'm just going to push it down really firmly just to make sure that it's just covering the bit I want. So then you ink up, and then you must remember to take the piece of tape off before you put it on your card. Okay, so there's the tape off, and I am just going to stamp down. And you can see I have just got the birthday. And you just need to get rid of your piece of tape safely so you don't get the ink all over you. Hold on a minute. Oh, well, I wasn't as successful with that as I thought I was going to be. But never mind. We'll get that off. And then I'm using the Label Me Fancy punch. And I am just going to position that to cut out my greeting. So I put it to the top, and that will become clear in a few moments. So that's my other piece there. And now we're going to make some other decorative pieces. So I'm going to get the little leaf stamp back, and I'm going to look to see oh, here it is. So my leaf goes in this direction, and so to make it easy to stamp, I'm going to make sure that I stamp my leaf in the same direction as the punch. So I'm going to put that away now, and then I can pop these in like that and punch them out. So that's just a little tip to so make it life easy for you when you're punching out. So that's that one done. And now I am going to make myself some little flowers. So again, this is the little strawberry flower, and I want 3 of those. 1, and as you can see again, the punchy part is to the left there, so I'm going to put them on a thin strip so that they're easy to put in. And also I am just going to put a little flower on my greeting like that. Okay, so I think we're now done with stamping. I have just a little bit more punching to do with my flowers. So just wiggle it round until it's all centered up. Ooh, that's a bit noisy. So let's see. It's a bit like sort of tapping your tummy and rubbing your head. You have to sort of move it left and right and rotate it a little bit, but there we go. And I'm just going to get rid of this spare bit because I think it's stopping me rotating this easily in the punch. There we go. So there's our 3 flowers. Let's get rid of some of this junk. Now, I'm going to give my flowers what I like to call a bit of life. And so I have a little bit of sponge, and then this is the Shimmery Crystal Effects. And this is a great little tool to put pressure in, and you can cup your little flowers. You can use your take your pick tool, only I can't find mine at the moment, so we'll just make do with that. So a little bit of adhesive onto the back of the greeting like that, and then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals to stick my leaves on. So I'm going to put the dimensional toward the bottom there because I want it to sort of stick to the pink bit but not show on the back. Oops. So let's see. Like that. And then for my little flowers, I'm going to use glue dots. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put 1 there to cover the crossover and 1 over here, and then my 3rd one I'm going to put, and I've just managed to pull it off of the glue dot, there we go, I'm going to put down here. Always have to have a little bit of sparkle, and so we're going to go with some rhinestones. So 1 there. You can't have a birthday card without some bling. This one's being difficult. I think I must have a little bit of glue on my finger, and everything is sticking to it at the moment. It could well be the humidity. Here in Texas it's warm and we've had an awful lot of rain in the last couple of days, and it is a bit humid here. Okay, so there is our front piece, and now we're just going to attach it to the card. So we need to make sure that we only put dimensionals onto one side, otherwise you won't be able to open the card. So I'm going to put 1 there, top and bottom, and then I'm going to bring 1 in a little bit further so that it's not halfway, and so it's going to go on the card like that. Okay, now all the dimensions for this card are on my blog, and if you look below this video, you will see a link to my blog which you can click on and it'll take you there. There we go. Isn't that cute? Now again, it does look different from the other one because that's the different ways that you can cut the the wedge out. But I do hope that you've enjoyed this card along with me. I'd certainly appreciate a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, then I'd appreciate that as well. Well, thank you for spending time with me. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.